certainly we'll be ready. I'll be ready. I have that confidence. I have that readiness. And if you want specifics with specific policy or countries, go ahead and you can ask me. You can even play Stump the Candidate if you want to. But we are ready to serve.
And now it's time for Stump That Candidate with Sarah Palin.
We don't know a whole lot about your foreign policy views, so why don't you give us some insight into what you think about, say, Russia?
They're our next-door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska. And that has much to do with foreign policy and national security issues. Let me speak specifically about a credential that I do bring to this table, Charlie, and that's with the energy independence.
Right, I understand your views and your credentials on energy, but you see, that's not what I'm asking here. I'm asking for foreign policy, your views on foreign policy, how you would handle hostile neighbors, how you would handle Russia trying to flex their muscle. That is what I'm trying to get to you. Can you answer that for me?
But it is about reform of government, and it's about putting government back on the side of the people. And that has much to do with foreign policy and national security issues.
No, it doesn't. You're twisting what I'm saying here. Stop answering a different question. Are you going to answer my particular question? Maybe it'll help to frame it like this. We don't know a whole lot about your foreign policy views. In fact, we have a tape here. Can you roll the particular tape?
They think that they will look at her record and qualifications. On foreign policy, Bill, before she was nominated, I tried to find a single view of hers ever recorded about foreign policy. They don't exist. She hasn't even expressed an interest in foreign policy. The only interview she gave about foreign policy was in December '06 to the Alaska Business Monthly, that major publication, and she said, I mean, I'm not kidding you, she said she'd heard about the surge on the news.
Right.
Okay?
And I bet
and that she wanted an exit plan. So the only statement we have of her foreign policy interest is directly diametrically opposed to John McCain. And he picked her after meeting her once. I'm sorry, this pick disqualifies her and John McCain.
And I bet if you
And there you have it. So, for the game, for Stump That Candidate, what are your views on foreign policy? We're not going to hear about your energy argument. Don't mention the energy argument, and don't mention how close Alaska is to Russia. Do you have an interest in foreign policy? Did you have an interest in foreign policy before you started running for vice president? Sarah? Sarah? You going to answer the question, Sarah? Stumped! Oh, so sorry, Sarah. Looks like that sound means that you actually have been stumped. But thanks very much for coming on the show. Maybe next time.
That's the Obama campaign.
Why is she scared to answer questions?
She's not scared to answer questions. But you know what? We run our campaign, not the news media. And we'll do things on our timetable. And honestly, this last week was not an exemplary moment for the news media.
I understand that.
And so why would we want to throw Sarah Palin into a cycle of piranhas called the news media that have nothing better to ask questions about than her personal life and her children? And I think our attitude would be, why don't we let that pass until we expose her to that kind of...
I think there are legitimate questions that, and it doesn't have to be a huge news conference. I'm not telling you how to run your campaign. Sure. There are legitimate questions about is she or is she not ready to be commander-in-chief? If last week didn't work, why not this week?
Stump!